Hey, what's up guys? It's Marf and welcome back to Asphalt 9, and GameLoft finally listened to some community feedback regarding the esports events. So right now, ESL Season 4 has just kicked off with the first event on iOS and Android for North American players. And of course, I am participating in it. Hopefully I will get to the finals at ESL Los Angeles. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about the first event itself and just kind of that GameLoft actually listened. So if you play the event, you'll notice that there are no AI cars, which is so good to finally not have to worry about any randomness in the event on the track when you're playing any of those AI guys just kind of bunching into you and like messing up your run. It doesn't happen anymore, and I'm so happy. Now, to be clear, this event is still not perfect. GameLoft still has, in my opinion, a ways to go in order to make these events as good as they can be for esports. So right now you still have to use the car's fuel, and you still have to use event tickets. Now, in terms of the fuel for the cars, this is where I have the biggest issue, because if you remember recently, we had a couple of multiplayer seasons which had the Corvette ZR1, the Vanda Electrics Dendrobium, and the McLaren Senna. All of those multiplayer events had no fuel, so you could play with those cars as many times as you want. So we know that GameLoft can put in events with no fuel, and they really should do that for the esports competition so you can practice the track as many times as you want. GameLoft, we know you can do it. Why not just do it for the esports events? I understand why you wouldn't do it for other events, but for esports especially, I think you really should. Next up is the tickets. Now, thankfully, they've reduced overall the tickets from 2 tickets to 1 ticket. Now, obviously, I would prefer if they had no tickets because, again, esports event, we want to be able to practice as many times as we want. But not only that, right now, of course, we have the Drive Syndicate, which doesn't require traditional event tickets, but it's its own separate thing. But we also have like 3 car hunts at the moment and a burst of speed event, so we're going to be running out of tickets all the damn time. And for an esport event, I don't want to have to worry about stuff that's present in other parts of the game. I don't have to, I don't want to have to worry about all that sort of stuff. And so I really would like to see GameLoft remove fuel and tickets. That would just be nice, especially because I think later on, usually in these sorts of events, we start using S-Class cars. So last time we used the Fenner Super Sport, and the Season 2 we used the Viper GTS, which was still an A-Class car. And then obviously for the first season last year, we used the Lycan Hypersport, and of course those have insane amounts of refill time, and so you only get like a couple runs every 6 hours or whatnot. So I would really like it if GameLoft removed fuel and tickets from these esports events. Again, I'll say this, I totally understand from a free-to-play perspective, from a freemium game business model, I get why you have to have tickets and fuel for the other events, but especially for esports events, I really don't think they should have it. So next up, obviously you've seen the gameplay of the first event right here on screen, and that's just the route that I have been using, and I think it's a pretty good route. Obviously, there are some improvements that I could make, especially towards some of the cornering, and also my nitro usage isn't perfect, but if you just kind of wanted to start out and see how far you can go in ESL Season 4, then this route should be fairly helpful to you. Currently, I'm number 24 on the leaderboard, so that should give you a rough amount of where you might be able to get to if you use this route. And finally, I just want to mention that I have a picture here I'll show on screen. That's the actual Cadillac CN concept. I saw this at the Peterson Museum a couple weeks back, and that was just kind of cool. I just wanted to, say that because that's the car that is being used right now in the event. So, yeah, again, GameLoft listened. I'm very happy that we are taking these steps forward for the esports events. However, again, I still would like to see some improvements made, but overall, I'm very excited for ESL Season 4. I'm happy that GameLoft has been making those improvements. And of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya.